ADHDers often struggle to get a side hustle business off the ground, despite the fact that several ADHD traits make good at entrepreneurship, good at being a business owner. It's the same traits that can make holding down a desk job in a normal corporate or business environment a struggle. I'm Shane G. I'm an ADHD money coach that helps people change their relationship with money by focusing on optimizing their income and better managing money so that the income they get is put to work for them. I work with a number of clients who have amazing ideas and all the skills they really need to be great entrepreneurs, but just need a little bit of help because executive dysfunction is real for us. Time blindness is real for us. The great news is we are living in an era where we have an unprecedented tool to help us, available 24/7, extremely affordably. And that tool is AI. And that's why, following up on my last episode of my podcast, I'm starting a mini series here on my ADHD Dollars YouTube channel, showing how you can use AI in order to help identify, start, get going, and stick with a side hustle of your choosing. Now, for this first intro video, I wanted to show you what AI can do. So if you've already been using ChatGPT, Gemini, Anthropic, one of the AI tools, you can potentially skip this video. It still might be useful because I'm going to use AI to help show what traits help ADHDers be good at being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, and what make it a challenge. And I'm going to explore that through using ChatGPT just as a great way to be kind of a AI 101 or an introduction to AI and some ways it can help ADHDers. So I'm going to start sharing my screen now and let's jump into ChatGPT. All right, what you're looking at on the left-hand side of the screen is ChatGPT. If you've never used any of the AI tools, their interfaces vary subtly, but extremely subtly. They all, though, look like a chatbot interface. So I'm going to start by giving it what we call a prompt. And a prompt is simply instruction/command, often paired in with a question. Now, as I said, I'm going to use it in this short video to explore what are the traits that make ADHD people good at business, and what are the traits that we have to be aware of, we have to put systems in place for, and we have to anticipate so we remain successful and committed to our business or our side hustle. So the first thing I'm just going to ask it is, are ADHD people good at side hustling? Just a simple question. This is the most basic interaction you can do with the AI. And look at what we're getting back. So I just asked it a very straightforward question. I know sometimes you hear words like prompt engineering and all this stuff, and it can make it sound like interacting with ChatGPT AI is complicated. It's not. You just ask it questions, right? So yes, many ADHDers actually thrive, though it depends on the person, the setup, and it highlights a very key thing here I've talked about in some of my videos. You trying the same side hustle, but with different setups, will lead to different outcomes. And while that's true for everyone, it's especially true for ADHD people. And I said it in many of my videos, in my podcast episodes. I'm going to say it again. And I go through this with so many of the students in my coaching. Picking the right side hustle when it's your first one is so critically important. And when I say when it's your first one, I don't mean, oh, I've tried 5 different side hustles. Okay, how long did they last? Well, the longest one lasted a month. No. I mean the first one that you got to 6 months, 1 year, or longer, or it went as long as you wanted and then you didn't need it anymore, so you spun it down. Not one that you got going and it kind of just burnt out on you, right? One that you really kept going. Once you get that first one under your belt, we can be a little less worried about it being a perfect and ideal fit. But when you get that first one, we need a good fit. We need one that's not too complicated, not too much initial investment required, because we know that buying stuff for it gives us dopamine hits. And then that in and of itself becomes what we're chasing. And we lose the energy and the dopamine hit from the actual business. So a little bit of a tangent there, but it's so critically important as we set the stage for this video series I'm going to do. By the way, if you haven't, now is a great time to go ahead and subscribe. This is the first just intro video. I'm going to do several videos here, keep them short, about how you can use AI to help you get your ADHD-friendly side hustle or business started. So you'll see here that it talks about why ADHDers often excel at side hustles, what to watch out for, and the best setup, right? So we got 3 very critical things from one question. Why do we excel? Energy and passion, creativity, flexibility, and resilience, right? Side hustles are usually flexible. What to watch out for? Follow through. Starting is exciting. Maintaining routines can feel draining, right? And this is where it's critical that, again, I just talked about, you got to find the right side hustle, but then it becomes critical that you have the right systems in place. And systems, I just want to be clear. Some people, when I say systems, think technology. Systems is about people, process, and technology, right? We had systems long before we had computers, long before we even had calculators, right? Systems can be checklists. Systems can be technology, right? It all depends, but it's really people, process, and tech coming together. And that's what can give you a system when you know how each of those people operate together to achieve an outcome. Overcommitting, we love to say yes to everything at once. Money management can make things a challenge, right? If we are not managing our money well, how do we manage money right for a business that does well? Also, the big no-no of mixing all that together, so when it becomes tax time, you and your accountant want to yank your hair out, right? And then the shiny objects and constantly chasing it. But like, look at what it's saying to you. So one of the things that I really like to do with AI is look at what it says about ADHDers in different situations. See where I agree, I align, I experience it. See where I don't think I align. And if I don't align, I have to ask myself, am I just blind to that? 1, is that just an area where ADHD doesn't impact me? 2, or 3, is this something hiding around the corner that I could experience soon and need to plan for, right? Those are some of the things to look out for. And then it talks about the best setup. So again, this was a simple prompt. Let's look at a slightly more complicated prompt, right? So what I'm going to say now is you are a ADHD, let's say doctor, and I've asked you, what are 3 key things I should consider before starting a side hustle, right? So what we're doing here with the prompt is we're giving the AI a persona or a perspective. It's really a persona. You're saying, act as this type of person. Give me answers from this type of perspective, right? And then we're asking it to give us an answer to a question, and we're giving it direction of what we want in the output. So my first one, while this is generating, was just open-ended. I didn't say who to act like. I didn't give it any direction for the output. In this next one, I'm saying, act like an ADHD-focused doctor. Here's my question, but I don't want open-ended output. I want 3 things. I want you to do it in this way. So this is how we can start to get better and better output back from the AI as we get more and more specific. There are times we want to intentionally be broad, and there are times we want to bring it up. So if we look here, great question. Speaking as if you were my patient, there are 3 things to consider. Energy and interest alignment. Does this hustle genuinely light me up, right? Just talked about that a minute ago. Couldn't agree more. Structure and support systems. We need consistency. Relying on memory or willpower alone won't work. Before starting out, have simple systems, accountability, and boundary. Huge thing I help my students with, my clients with all the time. Students make it sound like I'm a teacher. I'm not. Financial lifestyle and fit. How does this fit into the bigger picture? This one is huge as well and goes back to money management, but also dopamine management. Simply having more dollars in a bank account or more dollars under your pillow or in your safe, wherever you store it, doesn't give you a dopamine hit. Going on that lifelong vacation you always wanted but thought you could never afford because it's going to be 10 grand, that gives you a dopamine hit each time you get closer, when you're on it, every day you're on it, every new experience when you're on it, right? Now, this is the other great thing I like about AI. They, at the end, give you a quick bottom line summary. So for ADHDers, we go through these things, our mind starts wandering. This brings us back home to a quick summary, and it gives us an immediate next step of something the AI can help us do. So I'm going to wrap this video up so it doesn't get too long and I keep these into manageable chunks. But let me know in the comments what you think about this format. So I think it's really interesting. I'm using AI to show you and introduce you to it if you haven't experienced it. Honestly, just start playing around with it. Best way to get experience. But I'm doing it while exploring some of these ADHD topics. So I thought that was like a cool way to be very practical about it, but also still get that core ADHD type content in. Let me know what you think. Like it, don't like it. Give me your feedback. If there's certain things you would like to see me talk about the AI doing as I do this mini series on how to use AI as your assistant when you're starting your side hustle, please include that as well, because I would be happy to touch on those. Again, don't forget to subscribe. And if you are interested, I do offer free 30-minute ADHD side hustle starter sessions. Link is going to be below in the description of this video. Again, they're completely free. You'll leave the session with some immediate next steps, generally narrowed down to a few side hustles for you to consider. And then we'll also talk about how we can potentially build this side hustle up together for you and help keep you on track. Thank you so much. Until next time, Shane G.